So I'm a sucker for using up fabric scraps. We all generate them. We all have piles of them. They get shoved into the back of a drawer and then they get lost and forgotten. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make something a little bit different than the norm. I'm going to show you how to make these quick and easy little scrap fabric hearts. Lots of different ways that you can do it. And what's great about it is that you can let your creativity run wild. You can make them small or as large as you like. And if you stay till the end of the video, I'm going to give you a little bit of an insider information tip of what you can do with those hearts and do a good little deed in the meantime. So if that sounds good to you, grab your sewing gear and let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and grab you a handful of fabric scraps. You're not going to need that many for this tutorial, but if you want to color coordinate, you can, or if you want to be random, you feel free however you want to do it. You're also going to need a heart template. Now this is just some heart templates that I printed out, but if you want a freehand one, just go ahead and do it that way. I'm using the back of this cotton shirt that I got from the thrift store, and I am tracing my heart shape onto my piece of fabric. If you wanted to make your pieces out of patchwork, you could do that as well, and I'm going to show you another example of how to do this later in the video. You're going to need 2 heart-shaped pieces of your scrap fabric to make our heart. If your fabric has a wrong side and a right side, make sure to pay attention to that because that is going to matter later into the video. Luckily, this cotton fabric didn't really have a wrong or right side, so I didn't really have to pay attention that much. But on one of the pieces of fabric on the right side of your heart, you're going to add all of your embellishments. Now, I've tried out a couple different things. I had some scraps of fabric that actually had some fusible web on them, and also had some lace, some trims, some ribbons. Feel free to embellish it however that you like. This is what the front side of my heart is looking like. I really enjoy how the embellishments kind of came together and just added a little flair. Now the way that I'm going to construct this is I'm going to be putting the wrong sides together so that my right sides are going to be facing me. And I'm going to put this little piece of ribbon. I actually thought about sewing it in half so it wasn't so large, but I decided to roll with it the way that it was. So what you're going to end up with this heart is you're going to have some scrappy edges on it, which is the look that I'm going for on this heart. Later on in the video, I'm going to show you a different method of making the heart. But yeah, what you're going to do is, since we are stuffing these, you're going to leave a little bit open. We're just going to go and sew all the way around the outside, leaving about a 2-inch opening. Now, I'm going to show you what happened here whenever I sewed the ribbon on. I went a little bit over the center of that ribbon, and it's going to end up showing that this is going to be like a little wonky heart, but again, it's not going to be a huge deal because we are doing acts of kindness around here, and perfection is not something that we like to do in this area. You can see on the back my stitching is a little bit weird. It's a little bit off, but again, it's all good because it gets the point across. Before we do our stuffing, we're going to go ahead and do the edge with our pinking shears. Now, I just kind of like the look that pinking shears give you, but feel free that if you want it to be nice and loose and scrappy, that this step is not necessary. It's just a little extra touch that I like to do with raw edges sometimes. Just make sure that you don't cut into your stitches that you just did. But now we're going to stuff it. And what I'm using is this little pillow that I got from the junk store. It was like a new pillow. What I did was I went ahead and stuffed my heart. Now you're not going to want to stuff this like super duper full because you still want to have room to close that opening. But just go ahead and put a decent amount of stuffing and you'll kind of get a feel of how it looks. But again, you just want to make sure that you've got enough room to where you can close that up. And now you can use a hand stitch if you want to. I machine stitched my heart closed because that's what I like to do. But this is your finished heart. So I'm going to give you another method on how you can do your heart. We're going to do it a little bit differently. And I actually used my bigger heart template for this one. But I wanted to do it kind of patchwork and a little bit simpler than the other one. But I just took some fabric scraps and embellished the front just like before. But instead of doing the wrong sides together, I did the right sides together and put my little my little loop inside of there, as you can see right there in the top. And what I did was I stitched around the outside the same way that I did with the other heart and left a little 2-inch opening. But you'll see the difference on how it looks with the right sides together versus the wrong sides together. I did turn it where the right side was out, carefully getting into all of the edges, the corners, and everything to make sure it looked like a heart. And this one turned out way better than the other one did as far as looking with that heart shape. So same thing with this, you're going to go ahead and stuff it with whatever polyfill or whatever that you're using. And now folding it over to close it, it's a little bit trickier than just leaving it raw, and then took it to my machine to sew it closed. This would also be a good time to use your hand stitching if you wanted to have a cleaner look, or use like an invisible stitch so that you wouldn't see those. Once you get that opening closed and everything stuffed and ready to go, now you've got another heart ready for its new home. Oh, well, look at you. You actually stayed till the end of the video. Well, then I guess you wanted that little insider tip, huh? The whole reason that I even thought about making these hearts was there's a website that's called ifoundaquiltedheart.com. I discovered it so long ago, so many years ago, and I was hooked. This was when I was more into my quilting days, and I really just wanted to use up my scraps, and I wanted to do something good for the world. So what I did was I ended up figuring out the best way for me to make these hearts. Hopefully this video helped give you some ideas of how you can do it. What you're going to do is you're going to take your heart and you're going to put, hopefully you can see that, you can put a little note on your heart saying that I'm looking for a home. Direct people to the ifoundaquiltedheart.com. Now, my little tags that I made, I actually laminated them because I have a little just a little mini laminator, but you don't have to do it. I just laminated them in case I left it out and somebody didn't find it and it started raining, because that's what it likes to do in the South. When I very first started to do these, I laminated them with just packing tape. I just printed it out on a printer and laminated it between 2 pieces of tape and then attached it to my heart with just a little safety pin. But all you got to do, make your little label, say that I'm looking for a home, and then you just leave it out into the wild. You just take it wherever. I do not recommend, and I believe that they have this on their website, I do not recommend leaving these inside of stores, like going to like a retail store and like leaving it on the shelf. I don't recommend doing that because I don't think that's the right vibes to go for. But I mean, basically, I've left these in parks when I was going on a walk. I've left them like on benches and things like that. I had a doctor's appointment one time and I left like 1 or 2 on the little bench right outside of the doctor's office. So, you know, just something to where if somebody finds it, it may brighten their day. Like if they're having, if they're having a crappy day and they see just a random act of kindness, just something to bring a little light into the world, because I definitely feel like we all need a little bit of positivity wherever we can find it. So yeah, that's my little insider tip on what you can do with your fun hearts. Now you can also, I've seen people make them and they put like lavender inside them. So it's like a little lavender sachet. Also makes everything nice and happy. So feel free to do whatever that you want with your heart. Let me know if y'all have any questions below or need any extra tips or tricks on how to make them. I really appreciate having you here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.